One of the harshest realities about becoming a parent is learning there's no such thing as quick anymore. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Kira Wackett. Thanks for joining me for another video as we work to empower and equip you with the confidence and skills to write your own story so that you can live your life on purpose. Today we're talking about how to manage the already stressful task of moving with one or more little humans running around in the process. I was unprepared for the barrage of tasks and to-dos that came with buying a house. I knew it wasn't a small task, and with the market the way that it is, I expected everything would feel a bit more chaotic and stressful. But wow, I've never quite experienced the thought spinning that came with this process before. Not even with the overwhelm of a new baby and COVID. And amid all of the lists and emotion cascades from excited to panicked, you remind yourself that it's not just you that you have to think about. The smallest of transitions can be overwhelming for a toddler. Moving is like a sea of big and small changes taking hold simultaneously. There's no way through it, but through it. The boxes have to move from one spot to another. You're saying goodbye to the place you called home, and for your littles, perhaps the only place they've ever called home. Everything will be the same, but different. And that's a lot to try and integrate regardless of age. Radical acceptance is a term that means to accept what's out of your control and anchor on the things that you can. With moving, that's even more important. We can't control the timelines of others. We can't control the outcome of the inspection. We can't control shipping deadlines or inflation. We can't control the traffic you hit when heading out with the moving truck. And we can't control the emotions that our little ones or we feel in the process. Spending time and energy worrying about or trying to manage these things does nothing but deplete our already limited supply of resources. So instead, here are 10 things that you can control that can make all the difference in helping your family during a move. First, be open about what's going on and involve your kids in the process. Talk to them about why you're moving. Share with them the different steps. Begin talking about the move as soon as you're considering it. We looked at home buying apps with our daughter Everly and took her to every single showing. She came with us the first time we met our realtor, and we talked about why we were looking to buy a home. We never talked about our current home as if it were bad or with negativity. We just noticed the things that didn't work for us anymore and talked about how cool it would be to find the right place to move together. Next, we need to help them see themselves in the space. This includes helping them visualize what games you'll play in the backyard or where their new toys will go. When they move, they may also need assurance that all of their things are coming with them, which we'll talk about in a little bit when we talk about purging. Can they pick the color they want their new room to be? Which bathroom is going to be theirs or yours? It can be especially helpful to help them start visualizing what a routine will look like there. Where will we eat? Take a bath? Where will you do story time? Everly is obsessed with painting, so we took her to Home Depot and let her pick out a bunch of those paint swatches to put up in her room while she decided which color blue she wanted her walls to be. We knew how much she loved bath time, so we went and we sat in the bathtub and did a pretend bath when we first looked at the house. And when we returned after our offer was accepted, we took my mother-in-law and let Everly give her a tour of her new home so that she could start to claim the space and get excited. The next thing is to talk about their feelings and yours every day. This is going to be a lot for all of you. It's stressful, and a lot of excitement and grief are happening in tandem. Make space to check in every day how each of you is feeling. Allow the feelings to exist. Try not to fix them or try to put a positive spin on what's happening. Let them have a day to be mad or sad. Normalize the experience. If they're having difficulty talking about how they feel, you can also use their toys to help. Ask their teddy bear how they're feeling moving to the new home. Ask them what they'll miss and also what they're excited about or want to do when they first get there. It's nice when our kids are happy and go with the flow, especially when things are already stressful, but they don't owe us that. They get to feel how they feel, and making space for it is one of the best ways to help ensure it doesn't build up and lead to tantrums or large behavioral displays. Next, consider the safety factor. They're leaving their home base. This may not have been your forever home, but that was a significant part of their life and is familiar and safe. The new home will take time to feel that way. We talked to Everly about how the first few weeks it might feel like we're on a trip or like it isn't where we live now. She might feel sad or like she doesn't have the same comfort right away. That isn't because she isn't safe in the new home. It's because her brain is familiarizing itself with our new home, and our fear brains are very thorough inspectors for safety, security, and comfort. It can be helpful to set up certain spots in the home for them to call their own right away. That may be their rooms or even bringing in some of their comfort and familiar items to play with while you're unpacking and settling in. Next, give them breaks from the process. They don't need to be involved in everything. Sometimes they need a break from the process, and it can be a little bit easier on us to have some time without them for getting boxes loaded and unloaded or doing harder tasks. If you can hire a babysitter or have a friend or loved one that can hang out with them for a bit, use it. Try to maximize the time you spend getting some of the bigger tasks done and then bring them back into the fold later. Show them what you did and talk to them about what's next. I even had one of her animals help me for the day and then talk to her about what they got to do with me and all the different ways that they were helping, and it was a way for Everly to feel connected to something even through that. When they're with you, be sure to take lots of space for breaks, play, and cuddles. We can become very task-oriented, especially when we're overwhelmed, but kids need breaks. When you get a few boxes unloaded, make a box fort or a house. Can you ride a roller coaster of boxes in the basement? Can you make a table and chairs for a floor picnic? It can be especially helpful to have a bin loaded up with favorite games, snacks, and toys to pull out during break time. We also made a moving playlist and would take dance parties randomly while packing. Everly also responded well to using timers, such as setting a 30-minute packing timer and then taking a 10-minute break. In that, it's important that we're consistent in routines and values. A lot is in flux during a significant transition like this, and it's essential to try and maintain as much of your routine as possible. From morning and evening routines, meal times and snack, nap time rituals, and bath time. Make sure you stay as consistent as possible with the times of day and the food and activities involved. We all know that ordering food or going out to eat happens a bit more during this time, which is completely normal. And when possible, make sure they have things they're used to eating or are part of their regular diet. We packed a transition box that had some of her favorite snacks and lots of fresh fruit and vegetables to grab when we were hungry. We also made plans for meals that we could easily cook in the Instant Pot for our first dinner in the house, and the breakfast that she wanted to have after her first night sleeping there. The other thing that we focused on is consistency and values rather than behavior. We talk a lot about the value we have in our home of being kind to each other and keeping ourselves and others feeling safe and a part of the team. When one of us starts to get activated or stressed, it's easy to check if this behavior is in line with that value. Also, it's important to remember all of you are going to feel scattered and overwhelmed. Everyone involved will have at least one tantrum and at least one pity party. Trust me, I get it. I had way more than that. When that happens, don't get overly fixated on it. You're all doing the best you can. Come back to and talk about your family values and then consider what you could do next time to help you stay in line with them. From here, we need to be mindful of purging. It's easy to get into the purging mindset when you're moving. Suddenly you question if that toy that they haven't played with in 6 months really needs to make the journey to the new home. If you ask them, they're going to, of course, tell you that they want it, they need it, and you won't be able to put anything in the donate bin. Try for a compromise. Instead, gather toys, books, and other items of theirs in a box. If there are some non-negotiable items, show them the items that will be getting the chance to play with other kids. With the rest, give them choices. Show them 3 toys and let them pick 1 to take with them and 2 to share with other kids. Toddlers are vaults of information. They'll remember the most random things that may not have been seen or talked about for months. Suddenly they're ready. They want to read that book, they want to play with that toy, and if you gave it away without talking to them, it erodes trust. So while it can be easier to purge when their backs are turned, don't. This way they know up front. They can be sad or mad, but they don't lose trust in you. Next, we need to account for all of the new transitions. It's not just the home. It's the new route to school or possibly a new school. It might be a new grocery store, library, parks, friends. Try to be mindful of how taxing this can be for them and give them space to process each one as you go. Walk the neighborhood, schedule extra time on your first trip to the new grocery store so that you can get the lay of the land. Most important is the school transition. This is a major part of their lives, and it can take a lot of time for them to feel at ease going to school. Their brain may be working overtime to manage all of the new inputs, so expect them to be more tired, irritable, clingy, or sad. This is normal. Again, just talk about it. Take extra time to connect with their teachers, try and set up a play date with someone in their class early on. Like all transitions, we eventually fall into the routine. This is no different. Give it time. This is hard. Hopefully exciting, but hard nonetheless. Remind yourself that you and your kids are doing the best you can every single day. None of you are failing. You're just going through something powerful together. Be in the process rather than getting fixated on the outcome or endpoint. Find joy in each moment and take space to just be with each other in this new adventure. So as we went through all these, I'm curious which one resonates most with you. Even if you aren't moving, we know that so much of what I shared is helpful to recenter ourselves on. And if you have other ideas and strategies that you've used when you've moved or ideas that you're checking out outside of this, please share those in the comments below so that we can again expand our community and support. Moving is hard, overwhelming, sad, exciting, vulnerable, healing, and so much more. It's not one thing, but a swirling of emotions and experiences. And it's okay it feels hard. It's okay you don't handle every moment perfectly. Just be in it and don't let shame rob you of the opportunity to be in the moment by focusing your energy on outcomes and unrealistic expectations. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to give me that thumbs up and share this video with other caregivers who may be prepping for a move or just need to recenter themselves with their little ones. If you want to stay on the know when new content is released, hit that subscribe button. Remember, we are the authors of our own story. So let's all work together and go get those pens back. I'll see you next time.